a man that survived inside of a sunken ship for 3 days, a motorcycle that runs on a helicopter engine. And did you know that if the sun would disappear right now, it wouldn't get dark here on Earth until 8 minutes later? Stay tuned. You might find some interesting facts and events you did not know about. The speed of light is one of the most fascinating and mysterious aspects of the physical universe. It is the ultimate cosmic speed limit, and nothing can travel faster than light. Because light travels so fast, it is often used as a reference point for other things that are moving at very high speeds. One interesting aspect of the speed of light is that it is constant, meaning that it always travels at the same speed, regardless of the frame of reference of the observer. This is known as the principle of relativity, and it has some very strange consequences when applied to objects moving at speeds that are a significant fraction of the speed of light. For example, if an object is moving very fast, it will appear to be shorter and more massive than it would if it were at rest. This effect is known as length contraction, and it is a direct consequence of the principle of relativity. If the sun were to suddenly stop burning, it would take about 8 minutes for the effects of this event to be felt on Earth. This is because the sun is about 93 million miles, or about 150 million kilometers away from Earth, and light travels at a speed of almost 300 million meters per second. Think about that. You could still enjoy the last light emitted from the sun, even after it has stopped burning. This also means that many of the stars we see in the night sky could have disappeared hundreds or thousands of years ago, but the last light emitted from the stars yet have to reach us. Harrison Okene is a Nigerian man who worked as a cook on a tugboat which was operating off the coast of Nigeria in May 2013. On May 26, the tugboat was hit by a large wave and capsized. The rooms of the boat were locked as a security practice, as pirates often rob the boats in that region. They locked the doors to keep the contents and the passengers safe. Okene, who was in the toilet compartment at the time, managed to escape and find an air pocket in the upturned vessel. He did not know it at the time, but he would be staying here for about 3 days before being rescued. Given the small area he was in, the rising water, and the elapsed time, the air he was breathing was becoming more and more concentrated with carbon dioxide. After 60 hours without food, water, and almost no air, Okene was eventually rescued by divers who had been sent to the site of the shipwreck to search for survivors. The divers used underwater cameras to locate Okene and were able to bring him to the surface, where he was treated for hypothermia and dehydration. Despite his ordeal, Okene made a full recovery and was eventually reunited with his family. The story of his survival received widespread media attention and was hailed as a miracle. Tennis for Two is by many considered the first video game ever. It's a sports video game that simulates a game of tennis. Designed by American physicist William Higginbotham in 1958, it was displayed at the Brookhaven National Laboratory's annual public exhibition. The game was inspired by the government research institution's Donner Model 30 analog computer that could simulate trajectories with wind resistance. Tennis for Two was displayed on an oscilloscope and played with 2 aluminum controllers. It took Higginbotham and his technician Robert V. Dvorak 3 weeks to build. The visuals show a side view of a tennis court. Players can adjust the angle of their shots with their controllers and try to hit the ball over the net by pressing a button. People were lining up to play Tennis for Two during the Brookhaven National Laboratory's 3-day exhibition. As you probably guessed, this is not your regular motorcycle. Y2K was built by Marine Turbine Technologies in the year 2000. The motorcycle was powered by a Rolls-Royce Allison 250 gas turbine turboshaft engine. An actual turbine engine used in helicopters is what propelled this monster motorcycle. In fact, the same engine also does duty on a bunch of Bell helicopters as well. Later generation of this motorcycle produced even more power and torque, as much as 420 brake horsepower and 678 Newton-meters of torque. The most expensive and perhaps the most famous jewel in the world is a 45.52 carat blue stone known as the Hope Diamond. This blue diamond is worth $250 million, and experts think its unusual blue coloring comes from impurities caused by trace amounts of boron atoms. Aside from its magical look, Legends about the diamond's bad luck and curses have created the opposite effect, making it a jewel that has been highly sought after throughout history. These legends may have been stimulated by the strange luminescence in the diamond. Its trace amounts of boron leave the stone glowing a startling red when removed from all light sources.